Okay, I'm finally getting a second to sit down and film this tutorial for you guys. You've been asking about it for a while, and I'm basically just gonna literally give you a step-by-step tutorial on how to start a passive income business. So if you're starting from zero, this is what you're gonna do. So I'll turn on my little circle person and share my screen here. First thing I wanna show you is how much I make. I wanna show you like proof of income. So this is my Samcart dashboard, and then you can see here over the last 30 days, we've done $400,000. If we go back to last month, which was August, 420. If we go to the month before that, which was July, I think it's really important that you guys listen to people who actually know what they're doing, and we know what we're doing when it comes to passive income. So I'm going to give you all the steps. I have the outline, and it looks like it's basically 30 steps. So it's 30 steps to starting a passive income business, and we are just going to take it one step at a time. So we're going to take a deep breath and just know that you can pause this video at any point. It's built to be a big resource. It's built to be something that you can come back to. It's built to be something that you can follow along. I'm going to be sharing my screen through the majority of this. And so I recommend you watch this whole thing first so you kind of have a sense of what this process is going to look like. So watch the whole video, and then you can put it on 2x speed if you want to, or 1.5. And then actually like go through it. That would be my recommendation because this thing is built to be pretty beefy. So the first step that you're going to do is just commit to the process. And what I mean by that is understand that this will test you, understand that this will challenge you, understand that this will make you want to quit. There'll be totally parts of this where you think it won't work. It's not for me. This is a fake. This isn't for real. If you do not commit to the process, the other 29 steps I'm about to give you aren't going to work. And committing to the process means it's almost like you burn your boats and this is it. Like you're going to make it work or you're going to die. That's the attitude I've always had with online business stuff is like, I'm going to make this work or I'm going to die. And I'm okay if I die because it's going to work or I'm going to die. And I see a lot of people on the fringes who are like, oh, it would be cool if this would work, or it'd be cool if I could have more money, or it would be just so awesome. But that is not, there's a very big difference between it would be so awesome, I would be so grateful if it worked, versus I'm going to work at this until I figure it out and until it works. And so committing to the process is the first step fully and totally. You'll feel it like a full body. You'll feel it in your belly. Like you commit with your belly, you commit with your stomach, you commit with your chest. Like I'm in and I'm going to do this and I will figure out everything that comes up and I will not quit and I'm going to keep doing this and I will make money. So if you do that, you can move on to step two. Step two is accept the realistic results that you'll have. No get rich quick here. So you guys know me, I'm super transparent and there's a lot of people out there who talk about making six figures in 6 days or stuff like that. That's just not real. Okay. It's not real. It's not true. And so you need to accept realistic results you're going to give. And so what I did here, I just want to show you is like a couple of my students and kind of what their realistic results are. Things like $1,100 with a $10 travel guide. That's realistic. $4,000 in the first 2 weeks. That's like a mid-level one, right? Something like Jody hitting $32,000 with her gardening guide. That's on the like really good end of the spectrum. But $600 in 7 days, that's a realistic result. $60 in the first 2 days, that's a realistic result. Beth making $140 in her first 2 days, these are realistic results. It's going to be slower at first, but that's how you know it's a real business, okay? This isn't like this isn't I don't know, like it's not the lottery. It's a real business. Businesses take time to build. And so you got to accept that you're going to get realistic results, not 6 figures in 6 days. Because if you look trying to get 6 figures in 6 days, you feel like you're doing something wrong. If you make, $1,000 in 2 weeks, or if you make, let's just say you launch your offer and you make $126 at first, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not a millionaire yet. Well, it's not realistic. And I'm only saying this because this exact thing happened to me when I started my business. I was genuinely shocked that I wasn't making millions of dollars in my first month, like stunned and stupefied. And the reason I was so stunned and so stupefied is because I was reading all the bro marketers out there who were like, here's how I made $1 million with 1 hour of work. And I was like, okay, this sounds awesome. And then I was genuinely so shocked when I didn't make money. So if you can, step two is just to accept the realistic results. This is an awesome case study. I'll put a link to this in the description. Let me just make a note of like everything I'm saying. I'm going to put a link to because I just have a feeling this is going to be a beefy description. So we're going to link to this document in case you want to read it. I do recommend you do. Like these are great stories of how they do it in all different kinds of industries. Just really cool. So I recommend you read that if you need like extra something to get you over the hurdle so you actually do accept. Third thing is I'm going to turn off. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, hang on. I just want to talk to you for a minute for this one. So we're going to turn it on me. And then we're going to turn the little circle off. Okay. So there's step 3 is to channel a deep-rooted belief that you can actually make money. And if you don't believe you can actually make money and that making money is a good thing, you won't make money. And so all the other 27 steps, like I'm giving you these steps before we get into the practical, like build this automation, like say this thing, use this ChatGPT prompt. We're about ready to get into all of this. But there's 3 steps that you have to do first. And the third one is like actually believe you can make money and making money is good. Because if you don't believe that making money is good, you won't actually make money. And so there's 2 books that I recommend that you read. You may have heard of some of them before. You may have read some of them before, but I recommend that you read them anyways or listen to them. Like this one I listened to an audiobook and it's cool to listen to it. So You're a Badass at Making Money, Dollars Flow to Me Easily by Richard Dotz. These are books that I highly recommend. They demystify the energy of making money. They demystify the mindset of making money. So they're really good at just like helping you get into the right headspace so you can actually make the money you need to make. So I also have videos on my YouTube channel about that particular topic. Like if you don't believe you can make money, watch this video. Okay. So now I'm going to share my screen again. It's kind of annoying that I have to like switch back and forth. Can we just make a pact that when I stop sharing my screen, there'll be 2 heads like this? That way I can just talk to you. And I know it might be a little distracting, but it's such a pain for me to, I'll just turn it off. It's not that pain. I'm being dramatic. It's not that much of a pain. Okay. So the 4th step 4, this is where you want to start like kind of paying attention to what I'm doing here. And we're going to go to ChatGPT. Hey, where's my circle? Let me turn it off. Hold on. Get my circle on. Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. All right. Stay on here, Mr. Circle. We're going to go to ChatGPT and we are going to put this prompt in because step 4 is to decide the hyper-specific problem that you're going to solve for people. So your job is to solve one hyper-specific problem. As you make passive income, you're going to start by solving a hyper-specific problem that you're going to solve for people. So this is the prompt we put in. And obviously, like I'll show you where you're going to change it out. So this is the first part of ChatGPT. How can I find one specific problem to help people with? My friends come to me and ask me questions about my marriage and my fitness. They also comment on how organized my home is. If I were to make content online that helps them solve one specific problem in any of those areas, what are some ideas? Give me 10 in all niches. So you would change and think about like, okay, what are my friends coming to me for? What do your friends come to you for? Do they come to you like, are you really good at like career stuff? Are you really good at relationships? Are you really good at like having hard conversations? What are you really good at? Do they comment on your style? Like, oh my gosh, you're so stylish. Like, what do your friends come to you and ask you for questions about? What does your husband come to you and ask you for questions about? That's what you're going to put right here. You kind of customize that with like what people come to you and ask you questions for. Then ChatGPT is going to give you some ideas. Marriage. So they gave 4 ideas for marriage, 5, I think it was, or 4 for busy mom, like fitness. And then 9 and 10 was like decluttering. Now, I felt like these were not specific enough. I wanted to give you really hyper specific examples because when I say a hyper specific problem you're solving, I literally mean hyper specific. So like how to rekindle connection is not hyper specific. So fitness motivation hacks, not hyper specific. Easy meal planning for fitness goals, not hyper specific. So I said, can you be even more specific and give me a total of 30 ideas? Hyper specific problems across marriage, fitness, and home organization. So for you to complete step 4, you would literally pick one of these and that becomes like, that's it. That's all you're going to make content on. So for marriage, for example, let's just say you pick this one, how to keep intimacy alive after having kids. That's the problem that you solve for people now. And you'll hear my ManyChat thing, Golf. We'll talk about that later. That's one of the softwares I'm going to teach you. That's what that beep is. So from here on out, if that's the hyper-specific problem that you're going to solve, the only thing that you're going to do and rack your brains around and like help people with is keeping intimacy alive after having kids. Now, I have lots of friends who have kids. I know, and I'm not with a partner, so I don't have to worry about keeping intimacy alive like in a romantic way. But I see in my friends' marriages, like it is difficult to do that. And so I can think of like a billion things right now that would I could like talk even further about. But so step 4, to get us back on track, step 4 is like you would pick one of these, right? One of these things. And I'm just using this as an example, right? And we'll talk more about like coming up with ideas. For now, all you need to do is pick something that is super hyper specific like this, something like how to keep intimacy alive after having kids. And you can use ChatGPT to pull up and get like some examples for that. Okay. Step 5 is to choose the group of people that you're going to help or your niche, right? So sometimes the hyper-specific problem, most times, the hyper-specific problem just does the work of helping you figure out who your niche, basically. Because my niche all of a sudden becomes really clear, right? Like, okay, if my hyper-specific problem that I'm solving is keeping intimacy alive after kids, who's my niche? Probably moms. Parents, yes, but probably moms. So now it's like, okay, like that's clear. If something similar, like how to lose postpartum weight without dieting, hyper specific. So that would be like, obviously like a lot of movement and mindset stuff to clear stress and whatnot. Who's going to need postpartum weight loss advice? Moms. How to stay fit while traveling for work. Who's going to need that? Busy professionals. How to work out at home with no equipment. Who could that be, right? Like that could be a couple different people. That could be people who are shy and don't want to work out in a gym environment. That could be people who are on a budget and can't afford a gym membership. So when it's not exactly clear, when the hyper-specific problem you're solving is not clear who the niche should be, I have a video that I want you to watch that's going to give you clarity, which is how do you narrow down a niche? And I'm going to mark on my paper that we're going to link that in the description as well, because that is going to be a big one for you. Is like, okay, this video, once you watch it, you'll have clarity on, okay, if it's not obvious who my niche is, it's not obvious who my target audience is, watching this video and narrowing down a niche, that'll give you a lot of clarity. Okay. Next step is to schedule in 2 hours. So this is step 6 now. Schedule in 2 hours per day of work time. So we need to talk about this. And I'm just going to let my talking head be there twice so we don't mess that up. You can work. You have 2 windows of time where you can work. 5 to 9 or 9 to 5. 5 to 9 or 9 to 9. 5 to 9 or 5 to 9 again, actually, is what it is. I wrote that down wrong. So you can either fit those 2 hours in, I'm sorry, I just have to turn that circle off. I can't even hear myself think. Let's do that. There we go. So you guys, you get 2 hours of work done. You can pick your poison. You're going to find 2 hours in the window between 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. or 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. For me, I'm a mom of a toddler. I'm exhausted. And so I work from 4 a.m. until 7:30 a.m. when she wakes up. That's when I work. And what that does is it allows me to be present to my kid. If I had a 9 to 5 job, that would allow me to go to my 9 to 5 job. But what does that mean? That means I'm in bed by 8 o'clock almost every single day. Like it's a rare thing for me to see 10 o'clock on the clock at night. And so again, this brings us all the way back to step 1, which is scheduling, or it's committing to the process. Part of committing to the process means making, I don't like to call them sacrifices, but I like to call them trades. Like you're gonna make trades, and the trade is like I don't get to watch some of my TV shows that I like to watch anymore because I go to bed, because I gotta wake up at 4 a.m. and work. So we all have either, and now you might be a night owl, and so you might be like, you know what, I'm gonna put the kids to bed. Kids go to bed at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. So I work 8 to 11 or 8 to 10, right? Because you only need 2 hours a day. You don't need a lot. 2 hours a day, though, you need to find, whether it's early in the morning or late in the evening, it's up to you. But they need to be scheduled in. Like I literally, like, let's go. I don't want to show my calendar for privacy reasons, but like go to your calendar and put them in right now And that's it. Like if you need to talk to a significant other, be like, honey, I love you, but I can't talk, like I can't spend time with you from 8 to 10 p.m. anymore because that's just my work time and it has to be, that's the way it has to be. So if you want to spend time with me, like here's where I'm more available, which is a hard conversation. But you need to also let your significant other into like the why you're doing that. Here's why I'm doing this. Here's why we're temporarily making this trade. And then you just need to stick to it. Like that's where the commitment to the process is going to come in. Is like if you choose the early morning one in particular, like you will be confronted every day with the choice to sleep in. And it's a temptation. Especially like me, I got a toddler, I got a 2-year-old I run around all day and I work out. And so my body's tired. And even though I go to bed at like 8, so I'm getting like, what is that? Like 4 and 5. I'm getting like, no, 4 and 4. I'm getting 8 hours of sleep every day. So it's like a decent amount of sleep. I'm die hard about it. But like some days I like put her to bed at exactly 8. So I can get myself in bed to 8:30. And then it's like, oh, we're 7.5 hours of sleep. Like you want, like I'd love to get 9 hours would be like optimal for me. And so like there's always that temptation to sleep in for that extra hour and a half. And you just can't. So step 6, schedule in the 2 hours per day of work time. And it's got to be non-negotiable because you just won't have the time to do what's about to come up if you aren't scheduling in the work time. All right, which brings me to step 7. Oh, I'm actually going to keep the circle off of this one because this is another non-screen one. Step 7 of 30. You need to do any inner work you need to do to be brave enough to start. Entrepreneurship will challenge you and will test you to an extreme level. And that's a beautiful thing because it's going to push you to grow and get out of your comfort zone. But you might need to go to therapy to be comfortable enough to be seen, to be comfortable enough to take a risk. You might need to talk to someone trusted. You might need to read books on taking a leap, right? Like The Big Leap is a good book to read, actually. It's The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks is a good one. You need to do any inner work that you need to do in order to be brave enough to start. Now, some of you watching this are like, Maria, I've been dying to start. I just don't know what to do. So this tutorial is perfect. Like now I'm knowing what to do. I don't need to spend any time on step 7. I've been dying to start. But some of you have been watching my content and have been observing people making money and you're afraid to start because what if you fail? And what if you succeed? What if you become more wealthy than you ever imagined? Like, what if this actually works? What does that say about you now that you become a wealthy woman? That's going to trigger a lot for you. And so there's a lot of inner work that might be the thing holding you back. And we have to talk about it because now we're about ready to get into like tutorials on how to do this stuff. Like we're about ready to get into the step, like literally do this stuff. Now I'm going to share my screen and like show you some practical stuff. But the first 7 steps, especially like steps 2, 3, and 7, if you don't do those, you're not going to make the money. None of this will work. And so I did therapy. I read books. I just did exposure therapy, which is like you just start and then like deal with it as it comes, which is like a very practical way of dealing with it. But yeah, if you can't be brave enough to start, you won't start, obviously. So you got to do step 7. However, let's say you've done step 7, you are brave enough to start. What comes next? Well, you're going to make your very first piece of content and you're going to answer a very specific question. So let me show you what this looks like. I made a blog post, actually. This website is one of the last times you'll see it looking like this. This is the old website from like, I don't know, 5 years ago. It's about to get a facelift. I'm very excited. I just had a talk earlier with my website designer. And on this website is a very helpful blog post called 21 Tips for Creating Your Very First Instagram Reel. And each one of these tips is really important. But tip 1, you just need to get your first one out there. Don't pay attention to the views. We're going to talk about that later. That's step number 10. Consuming reels to do research. You won't know everything right away. Your first ones will be dumb and that's fine. You got to be humble and patient, like all of this. Super helpful. I will link to this. So I'm going to circle this one as well because this one's going to get linked to. Here's something I want to tell you about creating your very first piece of content. It needs to answer a very specific question. So that would be, if we go back to our ChatGPT thing, if we decided that the hyper-specific problem we were solving was keeping intimacy alive, what's a hyper-specific question people have about keeping intimacy alive after having kids? So it could be something like, my husband and I are so tired by the end of the day, all we want to do is get sleep. How do we get the energy to be romantic together, to be intimate together when we are exhausted? So how would you solve that problem? Like, what's one specific tip you could give them? That's your reel. So you're going to make your first piece of content. This is a milestone. When you do this, celebrate. Step 9 is to publish that content to Instagram. So just showing you my Instagram account here. I have a ton of content. We're going to get to that later. But I have a ton of content. But my very first reel, I don't think I can go far back enough, but my very first reel was scary to publish. It was so scary, and I just did it. And I'm so glad I did, because now, I mean, like 14, 15 months later, I have over 200,000 followers in like 16 months, whatever it was, 14 months, 16 months. Like, and it all started because I published that first piece of content, even though I was scary. And I thought it was going to be pretty dumb. Like, my first piece of content wasn't that bad as far as new content goes. So yours probably won't be either. So step 9 is to publish that content to Instagram. Step 10, don't look at the views it gets. Just don't care what the views are, because the goal, the objective for the first piece of content is not even to get views. The goal of the first piece of content is just to create the first piece of content. And once you've published that first piece of content, it's mission accomplished. And so don't care about the views. You just can't care about the views. It's normal to, like, that's a normal human thing, is to care about the views, but just don't care about the views. Don't look at the views, and understand that the goal for right now is not to get views. It's to publish content. You cannot control the views that you get. You have no control over that, but you can control how consistently you follow the steps of my passive income business tutorial. You can control that. The views will come and the sales will come later. We're going to talk about both of those in this tutorial. But for right now, step 10 is just don't look at the views and don't care. All right. Now I want to take us back to ChatGPT, because step 11 is to make a second piece of content solving a different specific problem. So I had ChatGPT generate some ideas. You can do this too. Can you give me 20 more topic ideas around this one? How to keep intimacy alive after having kids. So I picked this guy here, and I had ChatGPT give me 20 more topic ideas for this specific problem. So here's 20 more topic ideas. How to make time for intimacy when co-sleeping with kids. So you could make a reel on, like, are you co-sleeping with your kids? Here's how to create intimacy. And there's all kinds of jokes about that you could do. Like, people always say, like, be wary of the couch for the co-sleeping family, which, again, I could have picked fitness as my topic example. Somehow I just decided to do keeping intimacy alive. So here we are. How to communicate sexual needs, how to create intimacy through non-physical affection. Like, all of these are so good. These are all really good content ideas. And so you're going to make a second piece of content answering one of these questions. Step 11 is to publish it, or step 12 is to publish it the next day. So you're getting the gist here. You're making a piece of content that solves a hyper-specific problem every single day. Get ready for step 13. Turn my talking head on here and get rid of my circle. Because step 13, I hope you're sitting down watching this. You may already know where this is going. Step 13 is to publish a piece of content that's very helpful and solves a hyper-specific problem every single day for 180 days in a row. I get a lot of pushback on this. A lot of people, and I'm going to sound like a dick here for a second, but a lot of people who are making not as much money as I'm making, for sure, who have not run a business successfully, who have not built a following, say, oh, but that's too hard. It's too hard to expect people to make content for that long. What do you think starting a business is? Do you think we're joking around here? Do you think that we're just playing? We're here to make money. We're here to start this is a real business. And so I pulled something up for you that I wanted to show you, just to remind everybody. And again, I'm not mad at you. I'm just like, this is the result of me getting 1,000 comments and people being like, oh, it's too hard. Do you know how many businesses make a profit in the first year? Most businesses don't make any profit in their first year of business. The way I do it, my customers always make profit in their first year of business. They always do. And so we're better than the average business, okay? Most businesses says needs 18 to 24 months to reach profitability. I'm saying do something for 180 days. Now, is it longer than what the lying gurus say, where they say make 6 figures in 6 days? Yes. Is it a lot of work? Yes. A piece of content every single day for 180 days in a row is a significant amount of work. I get that. But you have 2 hours a day to do it. That's why you need 2 hours, by the way. So and it probably won't take you 2 hours. Like it takes me less than an hour now to make a piece of content because I'm so practiced. So for you to have 2 hours, you'll be fine. Is it going to take consistency? Yes. Is it going to take discipline? Yes. Is it worth it? So you can have a business that changes your family's life, that actually brings in revenue, that actually allows you to quit a job that you might hate, that actually allows you to change your life and your family's life? Yes, it's absolutely worth it. So you're going to make content that's helpful and solves problems for 180 days in a row. It's up to you though. Like, I don't care. And I'm not saying this to you watching the video. I'm saying this to the people who say it's too hard. It's like, dude, it's up to you. But don't come at me in my YouTube comments telling me I'm wrong. This is what I did to make money. This is what I still do to make money. 99% of people watch my free content and never buy from me. And I'm okay with that because the goal is to help people solve a hyper-specific problem. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox. About 90 days in, this is step 14. So halfway through, 90 days in, after 3 months of making content, start thinking about what product you'll sell. Now, what's going to happen is over these 180 days, you're going to start getting followers. You should see some of my students who do this. They go from, and I'm not exaggerating, like 100 followers to 10,000 followers or more doing this. I have tons and tons and tons of case studies in my Facebook group from this. I have tons and tons of testimonials from this. My students who follow what I teach start to amass a really big following. They start to get followers. And what's going to happen is you're going to start to get hints and ideas. If you do this for 90 days, you're going to start to get hints and ideas of what you should. I'm just going to pause it so I can just like fix the focus really quick. So what's going to happen is you're going to have people comment about wanting information about something more. So you're going to start to get hints about what your product could be. So about 90 days in, start thinking about what kind of product you're going to sell. And you're going to kind of have an idea by the 90-day period. So this won't take that long. Step 16 is a very cool step. This is where it starts to get exciting. Hold on, let me add my circle guy. Okay, here's step 16. This is actually kind of where it gets exciting. You're going to choose what product you're going to sell, meaning are you going to sell a video course? Are you going to sell a PDF bundle or audio files? And I have something specific. This is from one of my courses that I just want to show you. This is the ease of selling scale, meaning how easy is it to sell a video course, a PDF bundle, or an audio file. A video course is the easiest product to sell. It doesn't get easier than that. It's very easy. Ease of selling it, creating it, all of it, very easy. PDF bundles are harder to sell. Audio files are the hardest to sell because we can just get audio for free so easily. So this scale comes down to people's value perception, what they perceive to be valuable. They perceive video courses to be very valuable. They perceive video PDF bundles to be valuable, especially if you package it right. But they're harder to sell. And audio files have the low perceived value for the most part. Obviously, there's exceptions to that rule. But for the most part, they're the hardest to sell because, again, you can just go to YouTube and get it for free. So ease of creation scale is different, right? That means like how easy is it to create it? Video course, very easy to create. I have a course that teaches you how to do this. Super easy. I also have a lot of like tips on YouTube about how to do this. It's very easy. PDF bundles, somewhat easy, but you have to make them very valuable if you're going to sell them. Audio files are very hard to do because the only thing that people are receiving is your voice. So you need to have a really good microphone setup. You need to have perfect control over your voice, perfect command over how you're saying it. It's just difficult. So I would steer you away from audio files. I have a lot of students who make a lot of money with PDF bundles. So I'm definitely not going to steer you away from PDF bundles. There's some pros and some cons of that. I'm a big proponent of video courses. I think they're the easiest all the way around, but it's up to you. Like really, you can choose a PDF bundle and that's the thing you sell and that's fine. You really can. Okay, pick a topic for your digital product is step 16. So I'm just going to refresh this so you can see what the video looks like. This is a video that I recommend that you watch if you need help with picking a topic for your digital product. It's just one of my YouTube videos. We're going to link it. I just recommend watching this. It's a 10-minute video. It really breaks down how to do it. It's just going to help you really like look for like what you should and shouldn't do. Hard to mess it up after you watch the video. So that is step 16. Let me make sure I'm still recording here. Okay, I am. Okay, I got worried. I was like not recording. Okay, step 17. Don't skip a single day of posting as you do this. So, like I said, you set aside 2 hours to do this. The most important thing and the thing that you control this, ma'am, is your schedule and your priorities. You choose that. I understand that everyone, and this is very true, some people have it so much harder than others. I always think about one of my students who had 4 kids and she worked a very demanding 9-to-5 job. She had 4 boys, I think, too. And she came to me and was like, I just don't know what I'm going to do. And she woke up at 4 a.m. and she got it done. That's how I got the idea to wake up at 4 a.m. later on when I had my own kids. And she quit her job and now she's home with her boys. But she was the primary caregiver, the primary breadwinner, and was trying to create her own business so she could create some space in her life. And so there's always going to be something that comes up. You're going to be sick at some point during these 180 days. You're going to have a family emergency probably over these, knock on wood, I hope you don't, but like, at some point you might. Work will get crazy for you at some point. Like all of these things, think through. Say, okay, here's my 180 days. There's 6 holidays. So I got to make content for those 6 holidays. Don't try to make all the 180 days of content all at once, but just like look at when could my potential hiccups be and how can I plan around that? So if I know I have a vacation that's a 5-day vacation in 2 weeks, I should make 1 extra piece of content every other day and schedule them so that I don't miss my upload schedule during the period of time. I don't miss my upload schedules. It's extremely difficult. There's no like minimizing it. It's not easy. I have to like really, especially when I go to take a vacation, like I have to work twice as hard the week before so when I go, I don't miss my upload schedule. But the algorithm is, and we'll talk about this in case you don't want to do this, there is a different way you can do this. So we'll talk about that towards the end. But this is the name of the game. Like I'm just being real with you guys. This is the name of the game. If you do this, I promise you will make money. If this seems harder than what most gurus talk about, it's because they're not being truthful and what I'm telling you actually works and you have to work it. Like that's just, I think we're all on the same page. So don't skip a single day of posting as you do this. The algorithms will punish you if you do. Okay, step 18. And by the way, you guys, like really quick, I'm saying this because I love you and I want you to win. Not that I'm insensitive, not that I think I'm better than you, not that I don't understand that you all have stuff going on. Like I really don't want to come across as insensitive. I just feel that you have been disempowered by so many people who are trying to make an easy sale. They want you to think it's easy. They want you to think it's super doable. I'm here to say no, like most businesses fail. And if you don't want to be part of the businesses that fail, if you want to actually have a passive income business that works for you where you make sales around the clock, you're going to have to put work in to do that. But let me tell you, like I did that and now I make over $400,000 a month. I take home 60% of that. So I take home over $200,000 every single month. I make sales around the clock. Like if we go to my, actually I can't show you my inbox because I got legal stuff that I know will pop up. So I can't show you. But if I were to show you my inbox, I've shown you my Sam card. Like if we can look at it this way, like all these sales come in $71 16 minutes ago, 22 minutes ago, $17. $384. Like this is all within an hour. And just this hour, if we go further, even more per hour. Like this is just what happens when you build it. It's exciting. This is exciting and it's worth it. And I say this because I love you and I want you to get this. I want you to have this. Okay. Step 18 is to do some market research to confirm your product idea. So you've watched my video on how to pick a viral topic for your digital product. Now you just want to like confirm that it'll actually work. Really easy way to do this is now that you've got some Instagram followers, make a poll in your Instagram story. Hey guys, here's the product I'm thinking of launching. A lot of you have asked me for similar things. is this something you would buy? Yes or no? Or like, yes or not, probably not right now. Just do market research like that. It's really easy. I do that all the time for you guys. And I get really good feedback. I get really helpful feedback. So step 18, do some market research. Step 19 is to outline your digital product. Here is an example of a sample outline. Let me just reload this bad boy. So here's a sample outline of what a course outline could look like. This is from my course, How to Create a Viral Digital Product. So a lot of what we're going over is just taught much more detail in the actual course itself with templates and whatnot. So it is a good course. I'm going to talk about that in a bit. But this is pulled from that course, which is sample wardrobe course outline. And so I literally break down like, here's your first section. Here's the videos that should be in it. Here's the second section. Here's the videos that should be in it. So I don't really script the videos for the digital course. I just outline it, know what I want to say, and then I just make it. So that's what your sample outline would look like. Don't use ChatGPT for this, by the way. That's a whole topic for a whole other conversation, but ChatGPT will not make it very viral. Ironically, you need to come at it from your own experience and what you teach in your own story through your own lens. Because if it sounds like a course that everybody else is making, they're not going to buy it, right? Like, and this is a good course, right? How to elevate your entire wardrobe for $100 or less. Like, that's an awesome course. It's because we didn't use ChatGPT to do it. So that's a topic for another conversation. Don't use ChatGPT for this. It'll just sound very generic. Step 20 is to start creating the product. So I use this thing called Ecamm, and I want to show you what it looks like. So let's just like move this down. So Ecamm is, I'm just going to pull it up here. Let's do it this way. Ecamm is the software I use. It's how I have this little circle. It's how I have this like little circle next to me. It's how I have this editing. Like, I don't have to do any editing at all for my YouTube videos. It does it all. It says here, it's like a video production studio. It's so true. Stream, record, present. This is exactly how it does it. It does all the editing for me as I record it. So any editing that you see, any like anything that it fixes, anything that like edits the sound, like all of this is done as it's recording. So that all I do is click record and then I click finish, and it's a fully edited video, which is super nice for video course production. I highly recommend Ecamm. I am an affiliate with them, but I get paid it's like a couple dollars. So I don't recommend it for the money. I recommend it because it's actually what I use and I really do like it. So I'll actually put a link there as well. Highly recommend that you use that to create, if you do decide to do a video course, highly recommend that you use Ecamm. Okay. So you're going to finalize your digital product. Step 21 is to finalize your digital product. This is what a finalized digital product will look like. And for whatever reason, I'm going to minimize this here so you can see it a little better. I just want to scoot it over. There we go. Okay. So this is what it would look like. This is what a finalized digital course would look like. This is our ads one. So we run very basic ads that are super profitable, and we basically teach our strategy in this course. And so in this course, you can see here different sections. It helps you get your ads going. It's very easy. It's very simple. We're not super techy. And so basically this is like the terrible tech person's guide to running very basic ads, but our ads make us a ton of money. About 50% of our revenue comes from ads, which is we're just super grateful for. So people ask us how we did it, and we kind of create a little course on that. But this is what it'll look like. You'll have some videos on here. This is my sister Rose, in case you don't know. There'll be some videos on the left. We use Kajabi in case you're curious to know what software we use, but your course should look something like this when you're done with it, just like your sections and your videos. This one's a little robust. So like this is a pretty big course. So you can probably get away with a smaller one. You don't need to put all this in here. For you, if you're just getting started, if we refer back to our sample outline, that's going to be a really good model for you to follow. So it would be something like 20 videos total, I think would be what I would look for. If it's your first course, just put 20 videos in there. Again, I do teach all of this in my, I do break down how to create a digital product that will go viral in my course that I'll talk about a little bit later. But essentially it would look something like this. And then if you actually click the video, it would look something like this, right? So it's just kind of like loaded in there in a nice format. Okay. Step 22 is celebrate yourself for publishing 180 days of helpful content. So I guess this one's coming up too. this one's coming up. I got ahead of myself. So I got real ideas to make money coming up, but I got ahead of myself. So basically, we got a couple steps here that are just my talking head. So I'll turn my circle off. If you have actually managed to publish 180 days of helpful content, you need to celebrate yourself because that is a massive accomplishment. I mean, like you and your friends go out to dinner and celebrate because that's a massive accomplishment. And so after the 180 days, you're going to launch your related digital product. Now, the good news is when you do things the way I do and you delay gratification and you aren't greedy and you don't try to get the sale right away and you're able to just delay your gratification, really all you have to do to launch is just tell your audience that it's ready to buy. Because you've been doing market research, so you've been dropping hints about it. You've been making so much helpful content. You have thousands of followers now on Instagram, so you actually have an audience to launch it to. You've been talking to people in your DMs and in your comments, so you know what their needs are around your hyper-specific problem. And so you just tell your audience, hey, I created this course. It's amazing. You guys are going to be the first people to get in on it, so you're going to get an early bird price. Click here to buy it. Like it's that easy when you do all the hard work up front, which is to create helpful content and solve problems for people. So step 23 is to launch your related digital product. And again, celebrate yourself massively when you do that because most people do not make it to step 23. So when you make it to step 23, you're going to be making money, which is exciting, and also accomplishing something huge, which is again exciting. So there is no way, this is something I have to teach you for step 24 and step 25. It's a very important nuance. I just taught this to my friend Stephanie, who's like been doing all of this. It's a super important nuance for like launch day. Because when you think of launch day, think of it like a store, an actual store opening. The day the store opens, it doesn't close and never open again the next day. Every day your store is open and every day you have foot traffic coming into the store and people buying from you every day. So what people who don't know any better do is they put all of this, they get kind of stuck in scarcity mode and they say, okay, my launch day has to be the day that I make all the money because I'm never going to have the opportunity to make money again. My launch day has to be huge. Typically, it doesn't work like that. Typically, the launch day is letting everyone know the store is open. And so if you don't know what you're doing, let's just say you do not know what you're doing and you don't know how to run a launch, you will make no less than 5 sales. So you will make at least 5 sales. If you've done everything that I teach, you can't mess it up and make less than 5 sales. You will make at least 5 sales. However, this is step 25. If you do know what you're doing, you will make at least 20 to 30 sales, at least, if not more. Let me show you. Let me just give you an example of someone who's like actually a student of mine and has followed what I taught. So this is a student, and what I really love about this is English is not her first language. So she says, Maria, your course is already making a huge difference in my business. I purchased the first one less than a month ago. We just launched our new digital product. It's $27. And she made $5,000 in the first 5 hours after her launch. She has an audience that's a moderate sized audience. So I think it was like around, less than 10,000. I think it was close to 5,000 people. And so because she implemented what we taught and because she knows what she's doing, thanks to what I taught her, she had a really good launch day. But I want to point out, and this is where gurus are honest with you, like this is not typical because most people don't know what they're doing when they launch. So that's why I'm saying if you know what you're doing, you can make at least 20 to 30 sales. But if you don't know what you're doing, make 5 sales. And either way, the launch day is not the be all end all of your business. The launch day is just the day the store opens. So whether you have an incredible launch, which is exciting and is motivating and is like amazing, or you have a launch that just does okay, it doesn't matter in a way because the most important thing is that your store is now open. So, step 26. This is where it gets really exciting. This is where you start to scale. You are going to repeat the 180-day cycle, and your goal is to be making $50 to $100 per day. If you have an Instagram account, you should be making $50 to $100 a day. That is your first baseline, bare minimum, absolutely bare minimum goal to be making. I mean, we're talking $50 a day is $1,500 a month. You don't think you can make $1,500 a month? You can. I'm just telling you that you can. That is the bare bones goal that you need to hit. It is very achievable. I wish you could see how easy it is because it's freaking easy. So your first goal is $50 to $100 per day. Every day, in many different ways, you're going to pitch your new product. So now you're making money every single day. After the 180 days, you're making money every single day because you're making sales every day because you're pitching every single day. Now, I created a doc, and I'm sure you guys are going to want this, so I'm just going to circle that too. This is 12 reels. This is the 12 different ways, the 12 different reels that I use to make money. So in each one, I listed them all off and I provided examples of each different way you're going to pitch your new product. So again, this is the 180-day content cycle that is repeated. But now, instead of not pitching, where you were just like getting followers and growing your audience and actually like building up something, now you actually are pitching your product. So you're making sales every day. Now, there's two other things I want to show you. Let's see. Step 28 is you're going to build automations to make sales automatically. So I use this software called ManyChat, and I build automations that look like this, where when someone comments wanting more information about my course, they might comment the word info in this case. So if we'll zoom in here, they might comment info, and then it'll automatically trigger, this is just a tagging thing, it'll automatically trigger them to get a link to learn more. So this starts to change the name of the game dramatically, because now I'm making sales completely automatically, and the only thing that I have to do is make my reel every single day. And then people comment on it, and then they get a link to the checkout page, and then they buy. Now, I go into this, how I build these automations in even more detail in this video. So I highly recommend that you watch this video, because what you just saw here, this like tutorial, it walks you through this in even more detail. But like, that's the bird's eye gist of this, is that people comment the keyword. This is ManyChat. They comment the keyword, and then it automatically is pre-built. So you're going to build this automation. It will send them a DM, and then they can click and check out. That is how I make a ton of sales every single day. And this video goes into it even further. Okay. There's one other thing, and I just want to like talk to you about this, because the sticking point for you very validly might be the 180 days of content. So there's another way you can do it, and you get to pick your poison. You get to choose. Both have pros and cons. If you don't want to make content, you can just run ads to your checkout page. So you can completely bypass the 180 days, and you can just start running ads. And we actually do run ads really well, to where like we'll take $5 and get a 3x return on our ad spend, meaning we'll take $5 and turn it into $15. Then we'll take that $15 and turn it into $45. Then we'll take that $45 and triple it again. Like our ads are really good at like taking little tiny budgets and making a lot of money with it. And we have really good testimonials from our ad courses. So that's your other option. The pros of running ads are you don't have to do all that content creation, which can be very draining. You build it, and it's kind of like the automations that'll let you make sales around the clock, because the ads are running around the clock. The cons are, in its own way, it takes work too. It takes work to set the ads up. It takes work to test which ads are working. Like, it does take work, but you get sales faster. So the ads way is a little faster, but it does require like you to put money in, not a lot. I mean, like we teach our $5 a day strategy. So it really just depends on how you want to get eyeballs to your checkout page. You can get them with your content creation, or you can get them with ads, or both. I mean, like some of our students do both and do really well with both. You just have to decide like which one sounds easier to you. I'd rather learn and set the ads up and have them running around the clock, or ads feels really intimidating. I'd rather do it organically and make the content. Either way, don't choose it based on what you think is going to be easier, because either way, like it's going to have its own challenges. It's a matter of your personal preference. So there's 2 steps that are optional that I want to show you. There's a couple courses that I'm going to recommend that you get. You do not have to. They're totally optional. Hold on. Let me show you. The first one is this one, which is how to create a viral digital product. So much of what I taught only works if you have a product that people actually buy. So if you don't know what to sell, or you don't know how to create a product, or you don't know if it will sell, this is a really good resource that I recommend you consider getting. Again, it's optional. You can do everything up until then and just figure it out on your own. That's totally okay. You can also just subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have a lot of free content on there as well. But what I will say for this course is that it does make it very, very easy to do the part where you create the digital product. It teaches you how to create something that people actually want. And if you're like, okay, I kind of know what my talents are, I kind of know what people come to me, but I don't know how to turn it into something, and I don't know how to for sure turn it into something that I know will make money, and I don't want to waste my time, this is a really good resource for you to consider getting. So every product we make goes viral. We're very good at helping our students create viral products. It's not as hard as you think. It's just a matter of like us knowing what works and what doesn't. It's just our experience. We've launched so many products that we automatically know right away if it's going to work or not. And that's such an advantage to you because you don't have to go through all of the work that we did to figure it out. And we've had many flopped products that we can help you avoid, because the thing that really can be discouraging is when you do all of this and then you try to launch a product and then it doesn't work and then you feel like you completely wasted your time. And so that is what we help you avoid in this course. Again, it is totally optional. It's up to you. If you got to see my some of the flop to viral stuff in the little Canva thing that I showed you, but we would break down, like, so if we go here, we would help you say, okay, like here's how do you know if your course is going to actually go viral or not? How do you actually use this flop to viral scale? And so again, it's a resource. It's totally optional. I really do think it's worth it. If you are committed and all in on this, it's going to be the best $300 you ever spent. Our testimonials are out of this world. And then the other one that I wanted to show you was the ads course one. If you did want us to teach you, ads course testimonials are also out of this world. This is one of our students. She started making sales on her very first day. So I don't like to talk about fast results because I think that it can be very gimmicky. But what I will say is the one thing that most consistently delivers extremely fast results is the $5 a day ad strategy. So again, these are totally optional. The other thing that you can do is go to my YouTube channel. So we just click my YouTube channel. I make so many videos. I don't know why it's not loading, but I make so many videos completely for free on how to do so much of what we talked about. You saw I was constantly be like, go watch this video, go watch this video. And so if you aren't ready yet, maybe you don't have the income yet, or you aren't ready yet to invest in a course, that's totally okay. When you're ready, it's there. You can also just start watching all of these videos. I have so many good videos, and some of them do like really well. Like this guy popped off. It's doing super well. And so is this one. This is the one where I recommended, like, if you are struggling to believe you can make money, watch this one. I recommend you watch this one. How to pick a viral topic for your product, how to scale your $10 product to 7 figures. Like, these are really good things your checkout page has to have. My courses make it faster, and my courses make it easier, and my courses give you clarity. But if you aren't ready yet for that, my YouTube channel is a really, really good place to start. So this has been such a pleasure showing you the full step-by-step do's. If you do this, you will have a successful passive income business. Like, if you follow these steps, if you do this tutorial, you will have a successful passive income business. I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to see how many of you guys comment like, okay, it's 180 days later and I did it. Or Maria, I followed your advice and I made my first passive income sale. Like, that stuff makes me so happy. I fully intend for this tutorial to be a big resource that we share. So I'm excited for everyone who's watching this. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you out there. I can't wait, you guys. I'm so excited. Take care, everyone.